A lot of people assume I'm from Brooklyn, but I'm from the Boogie Down Bronx, proudly. And my parents are actually from Jamaica. My mom is from Kingston, Waterhouse, and my father is from Montego Bay, the countryside. So my grandfather was a farmer, and he would allow us to walk through his work so that we can see it and have appreciation for it. And then his wife is in finance here. My mother's parents, my grandfather was an architect, which was very influential to my career. And then his wife actually came to this country to be a dressmaker. And I found that out actually after she passed away. So that was very influential to what it is that I do and inspiring. I was afraid to tell my parents that I was interested in fashion. I was supposed to be an accountant because my father's an accountant. And after my last semester of high school, I took an art class, and it inspired me so much that I decided to choose a college that had both accounting and fashion, so that I could mask my passion. And I actually ended up going to FIT in SUNY Oneonta. They had this great 3-in-1 program. I went away for 3 years in Oneonta, and then I did FIT for a year and came out with my bachelor's. So I currently have done 15 years in fashion, which is a little unheard of. Usually it creates a lot of burnout, but 15 years doing designing, merchandising, as well as technical design. And through that, I've been able to have an appreciation for the construction of a garment or item and how it's put together. As a designer, I've always find it very fun to be a disruptor. And so I chose to use unconventional materials because I thought, well, there's a million jewelry companies, and I always loved leather. So it's like, well, why not take leather and mix it with wood and mix it with resin and mix it with all these different things to create an exponential amount of possibilities and hopefully inspire some creativity along the way. Turn some heads while I do it. All of our earrings on purpose are done with the precious metal earring hooks on purpose because I have eczema and I'm not the only person. And so there's a necessity to have quality in what it is that I do, as well as something that doesn't harm someone. One of the reasons why I choose the vegetable tan as opposed to a chrome tan leather, which is the softer leather that people are used to, is because vegetable tan is usually used for gun holsters, it's used for saddles for horses, and I chose that because it's very utilitarian, it's very sturdy, as am I. But there's a beauty in that, just like there's a beauty in me. And I think that we very much overlook what's rough to not be beautiful. And vegetable dye is great because I can manipulate it to have a dye, to have different textures, and it will last the test of time. Vegetable tan is also very eco-friendly because I then create the colors that go on top of it as opposed to a chrome tan that has to be processed that way. So the shapes that I choose are very architectural, and it's really to pay homage to New York. I mean, my Zoe bracelet is a mimic of the New York skyline. And then the organic part is really to pay homage to my natural and Jamaican side, to my grandfather walking us through the fields to show what he has created and nurtured. And so that's what really inspires me. How do you bring the hard together with this organic piece, and that really melds into what it is that I do and really who I am. I wasn't born in Jamaica, but I certainly have that relationship, and I'm definitely